If Adam and Eve had children,
Yes.
so Cain and Abel, how did they have children? Who did they marry?
Okay. Now, don't try this at home. But Cain, well, we don't know much about Abel because it doesn't say anything about his wife. Cain killed Abel. Cain married his sister. That's just how it is. The original family was Adam and Eve, and they had many children, no doubt. They lived 900 odd years, so we're not to think that they had, a couple of sons and a daughter. They would have had many children. There's just no other way around it, and I know that sounds icky if you want it to sound icky, but if you would think that perhaps this was a girl that he may not have really knew. It's not like he grew up pulling her ponytail or anything. I wouldn't think. The reason this wasn't then proscribed as it is now, I didn't say prescribed, but proscribed, is now we have a whole different genetic can of worms to deal with. And now there's no need for procreation to take place among close relatives. Back then, when you only had one family on the earth, that's just how it was. There isn't another explanation, nor is there any need to try to be creative and find one. I know it doesn't sound contemporary. It doesn't sound like that's what we ought to do today, and no one is saying that we ought to do that today. But back then, that's the only solution to that particular conundrum. So Cain married his sister, and before very long, they moved on from that interesting practice.